Isn't it amazing that some people do so much with their life and other people do so pitifully little with their life? We can't blame it on circumstances. We are the ones who need to rise up and stop just blaming everything that's going on around us, from how we were raised to the government to this to that to something else. Time is too valuable to waste. And if you don't believe that now, you just wait till you get somewhere up in the 60s or 70s and see if you don't think that time is valuable.
You think you got time. You don't know how much time you have. You keep telling yourself you got time and watch what happens.
It helps you if you stop and actually think about, what am I doing with the time that I have?
You have to take your day and write everything you do, write that down. And you're like, my God, I am wasting so much time on frivolous bullshit. It's not even funny. If it doesn't infuriate you, it should.
Well, you say it's all these distractions. Well, instead of blaming it on the distractions, why don't we take responsibility to not get distracted?
I need you to confront you, because you're the one holding you up. I need you to confront you. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not going to do me like this no more. You're not going to continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not going to keep procrastinating. You keep letting you slide. It's time you punish you. Hold you accountable and don't let you off the hook.
If you live your life smart now, you can have a great future. But if you waste your time now, you know what you're going to end up with? Nothing but regrets.
Make certain that what you're doing really makes a difference. Make certain that you're spending your time on activities that are productive, that are taking you in the direction of your goal.
What the f*** are you waiting on? We sleep 1/3 of our f***ing lives, and we think we can take f***ing days off. We think we have the right to sit back and give ourselves f***ing options on which way we're gonna go in life. Time is running out. You keep on sitting around wondering what the f*** you wanna do. You're just gonna run out of time. So make sure you do one thing. Stop following the f***ing crowd. They may take time off, but you can't afford to.
It's time for you to have what you're supposed to have. It's your time to write a book. It's your time to be a millionaire. It's your time to be happy. It's your time now. It's your turn. It's time for you to get where you're supposed to be and have what you're supposed to have and do what you're supposed to do and live life on your terms.
You have to recognize, if you're trying to eliminate all risks from your life, what you're actually doing is eliminating all possibility from your life. You're trying to collapse the universe of outcomes such that what you've lost is freedom. You've lost the ability to act because you're afraid.
Freedom lies in the courage and the discipline of daring to attempt what others fear.
These fears can be anything from applying to a job, taking that first step. What I've found in life so far is all of these things normally have one thing in common: the fear that you might fail. What if I apply for that job and I don't get it? What if I take that first step, doing whatever it is, and I get hurt? The fear of failure is rooted deep in all of our subconsciouses, but most of us don't even know it exists. We go about our day to day telling ourselves the reason we aren't doing the things that we should be doing is because some bigger fear, some greater reason that actually doesn't exist at all.
And if you really take the time to think about what you're afraid of, you're going to realize that fear is not only irrelevant, it is a tremendous advantage. Fear is the ultimate tool to leverage pressure on yourself to succeed. When you're afraid of failing, when you're afraid of people laughing at you, when you're afraid of losing everything, guess what happens? You do the fucking work to make that not happen. Fear is a tremendous tool. And not only should it be embraced, you have to learn to use it. Being afraid is the best fucking thing you could ever have for yourself when it comes to turning that into energy, to have drive, to have ambition, to have progress in your life. But you've got to take that first step. You've got to take that first action. And if you don't ever take that first action, fear will paralyze you to a point of you becoming nothing, being nothing, standing for nothing, and basically being irrelevant your whole entire life. You know how you get fucking confidence? by fucking attacking your fear and overcoming your fear. There's a big misconception out there that people who are successful are not afraid. But I disagree. I think people who are successful are the most afraid because they're going to run the hardest, they're going to run the fastest, and they're going to be the ones who are going to take every single action that they have to take to make sure they get where they need to be, and at the very least, that they don't go back to where they were. So don't fucking wait. Don't worry about what if. Make a list, execute the fucking list, do that every single day, and you will be where you want to be. I fucking guarantee it.
Hundreds of years ago when we were on the savannah fighting the saber-toothed tiger and the cheetah, if we left the herd, we would be killed and eaten. And now here it is, in whatever year this is, and we're still too frightened to think differently. We're still too frightened to speak with our own voice. We're still too frightened to chase our dream. We're still too frightened to live by our values, not by our mother's values or our neighbor's values or society's values.
I am tired of people not starting and living their life on one very simple thing, which is they're worried about what other people think, whether that's their mom, their friends, and worst of all, fucking comments in social media. I mean, this is some 6th grade lunchroom shit. Are you really not gonna live your life based on somebody's anonymous fucking icon feedback that you suck? It's enough. It doesn't matter what they think. When you're fucking 92 and you're sitting there, you're not gonna give a shit about what Punkman 96 had to say, or even what your aunt had to say, who's miserable because she never got hers, so she's trying to keep you down. So very simply, please take the passion that is pouring out of my fucking face right now and run with it and go do something, because the only thing that's holding you back is you're worried about what other people have to say. Leave that shit in high school. It's time to go.
Life tests the big dreamers, the passionate revolutionaries. It's almost like a weeding out process. Only the strong and the best get to live their heart song. You know what? If it was easy to get to world class and extraordinary, everyone would be doing it. Every dream starts off small, but you want to start and move it forward each and every day. And while everyone else laughs at you and criticizes you, pay no heed to them. Keep on moving your dream forward, because there is something magical about sticking to your dream longer than anyone around you thinks you have a right to stick to that dream. Do the interior work required to get to a level where the negative opinions and the chattering voices of the cynics do not knock you off your ambition. They do not knock you off your game. You have to be so strong in your own skin that when people dismiss your ideas, or they don't understand it, or they laugh at you, you simply keep on going.
So you gotta consider before you start anything, what is the commitment level? If you commit to something, you don't stop until you win. Wake up in the morning, you rise and you grind. You join that health club, don't quit. You started that business, don't quit. Your mind has got to be steadfast. Your mind's got to be locked in, no matter what. Because we are champions and we never quit.
In the beginning, everybody's excited. In the beginning, everybody's gonna conquer the world. But after a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years, they start to get tired. They start to get frustrated. They start to ask, why is this so hard? They start to ask, why is this so hard for me? And they think it's just them, and they think the whole fucking universe is coming down on them. And that's when people quit. We all feel that way. We all have times of frustration. We all have times of anger. We all have times of why me. When you start feeling that massive frustration, that massive anger, that massive stress, you are about to have a breakthrough. You are about to move through an area that most people can't make it through. And you've just got to keep moving. You need to have endurance. You need to have grit. You need to have the stick-to-itiveness to persevere past the point that your competition will. It's the ones who understand that things are going to improve and keep focused on the end result that make it through it. We're talking about being able to put up with more pain than the next guy. We're talking about being able to be more patient than the next person. We're talking about being able to learn more skills and take more pride in your job on a daily basis than the next person. We're talking about people who will not fucking quit. When you keep in mind why you started, when you keep in mind what it is you're trying to accomplish, and you think about them and focus on them on a day in and day out basis, your chances of making it through these frustration curves increases tremendously. You have the fucking choice to be whatever you want to be. You could choose to persevere. You could choose to take initiative and do what needs to be done. You could choose to accept responsibility for yourself, your situation, and every fucking situation around you. You could choose to execute day in and day out. You could choose to not cut corners. You could choose to do the fucking work. And you could choose success. Your actions make that choice for you every single day. So what's it gonna be?